Daisy Jones and the Six, baby! Oh, we're gonna make a good thing bad talking about this show. Oh, what a roller coaster, man. You know, I was just doing a review for Shrinking before I did this one, and I'm like, that's some fast food. You just put it in your tummy, yum, 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 you're satisfied. Daisy Jones and the Six is like a nice, fine meal at a nice restaurant where everybody is so pretty to look at, and you're just listening to some good music and having a good swinging old time. It's just, ugh. Television, man. When I say limited series, this is what I mean. This is what I want to see from a limited series. Good actors, television actors, you know? People who should be doing this type of work, and they are. So Daisy Jones and the Six. This is a best-selling novel. I do want to say it's a New York Times best-selling novel, but what isn't at this point? Am I right, folks? Just kidding. This is the fictional story of the band The Six when they work with Daisy Jones, and it is shot like a documentary from the perspective 20 years into the future, where we see the band reminiscing on their short-lived career. Is this sort of based on the Fleetwood Mac experience? Just the tales you hear about the band members in Fleetwood Mac and everybody involved in that? Sure it is. Do the characters kind of look like Fleetwood Mac? You could make the comparison, but nonetheless, this is just 70s music, and it's a great time to listen to music. I know a lot of people that have watched this show. In conversations I've had with them, a topic that always comes up is the topic of the fashion, which is amazing. Oh my god, this is such a beautiful show to look at. Not just because it is using some really cool cinematography and things just look natural and the lighting is great. Now, I don't know if this show was filmed on digital or film cameras. I'd imagine digital, because why would Amazon use a film camera? That's just what I'm thinking. But it looks like film. It has some beautiful, beautiful colors to it and vibrancy to it. So the fact that they made this look like it not only exists in the 70s, pseudo the aesthetic, but the vibe kind of feels that way behind the scenes too, where we're trying to make it look like it'd be a piece made in that time with modern technology. It's always a good combination to see those things. Beautifully shot. Again, though, the costuming, I love every second of it. Look at these amazingly hot people in these appropriate clothing for the time. That fashion might come back. Don't be surprised. The music is kind of coming back. You know, that's a whole other topic we could get into, the current era of rock music and pop music and what are being influenced today and what's kind of like, what is alternative today could be part of what was like mainstay rock and roll back in the 70s and that kind of thing. We don't need to get into that. It doesn't matter. I just want to say, like, this music is good. They're singing some really good songs, too. So, camera movements, awesome. The cameras we're using look awesome. Everyone's wearing awesome costumes, awesome fashion designs. All the songs they are singing, they sound really good. They sound like hits I'd listen to. And you can listen to them, folks, if you want to go over to Amazon Music. I might be the only person that uses Amazon Music, but you could go over there and listen to these songs. I'm sure you could get them on Spotify, which is probably the preferred platform for a lot of people. But you can listen to these songs. So we are following the short-lived career of Daisy Jones and the Six, this rock and roll band full of some of the hottest names in the 70s iconography of characters that never existed. Right from the get-go, this format hooks you in because we know there's going to be a sort of winning outcome in the end when we see all of the characters are alive giving the documentary speeches and the talking head pieces to go accent what we're doing throughout all of this piece. That formula alone is different enough where it feels like the musical MTV biopic-ish thing, so you have that built-in iconography that way, so everyone's kind of like, okay, cool, yeah, now we know there's going to be some turmoil, but things work out in the end because we're all still reminiscing on it in a fond memory. And that is just right there, steeped in the nostalgia for an entire generation. Whether you grew up in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, or the 2020s, you know that just reminiscing on the time when your favorite music was successful, looking back on those kind of things, seeing a documentary about it, just seeing people understanding it and a new appreciation, that is always something we love doing. This is how you would tell a nostalgic story. And that's kind of the thing I want to see in today's media. If we're going to go back and do like our Fleetwood Mac parody, or not even parody, but just homage, This is how you'd want to do it. We love the characters. We don't glorify the world. We have really strong scripts. Oh my freaking goodness. Do I love the scripts in this? There are so many beautifully crafted dialogue pieces for every character. Everything is seamless and fantastic, just going from a moment to a moment that all feels natural. Conversations are happening. Now, I'm not sure on like the majority of the behind the scenes talent. I would have to imagine a vast majority of it is female, because you really understand the voices of the two lead female characters more than you understand the other ones, which is fine. That is what this should be. We're here for Daisy Jones, and some of us are here for Camilla, but we'll get into that in a minute here. It's just an incredibly well-crafted show, and it's simple. You've seen this before. We're not changing anything you've seen from this type of biopic. There's rock and roll, there's sex, there's drugs, there's violence, there's travel in a bus on the road, there's people at a concert playing music, there's troubles at home, people with pregnancies. You get it. This is what we're doing. It's music, it's rock and roll, it's the 70s. We're not breaking the format here. We're just giving you hot people who are talented actors with some insane fucking chemistry, man. Oh my god, do these people feel like they like each other? Isn't that so cool to see? Even if the characters in a scene don't look like they like each other, these actors just play it off so well. That is what happens when you have talented actors, folks. You can do some tremendous stuff. Great things are afoot in this show. Every one of the six I love tremendously. I don't think we have to go through all of them in depth, but Warren is such a fun character, and you need that kind of like breath of fresh air. He's not really like a central piece to the eternal romantic conflicts, but he's the drummer. He marries a supermodel. No, he marries a movie star. That's who he marries. He gets a happy ending and just gets to go off and to the sunset being a cool dude. You have Graham, who is the brother to like the main male lead, who gets like the very interesting love story. I do like him. And Suki Waterhouse, not a talent I know a bunch about. Girl, you are something special. I love you. Not only are you beautiful and talented, you have a vibe I cannot pinpoint, and I think that is a really cool thing to see. You do you, lady. I love it. Their chemistry was fantastic. Now, he's not the lead, but my favorite character and the one who I associated with the most, just because I was like, dude, you're making all the choices I understand, is Josh Whitehouse's character of Eddie. Eddie is kind of just renegade to the sidelines of the band and suddenly realizes he wants more, he knows what he wants, and sees the future in a way that maybe nobody else does. I like that. I get that guy. I understand completely how everyone's like, it's about the central conflict between the love triangle, and that's really cool, and it's a great love triangle. But you need that guy who is just on the outside, who's like, at any moment, this could all fall apart. I might enjoy it, but I also might know there's other things for me out there and try for those things. He's great. And Josh Whitehouse is an actor I cannot wait to see more of. I think he's going to be a fantastic person we follow a career of. Very exciting. For some reason, Timothy Olyphant's in this for a minute. That's cool. You have some really talented actors playing Simone and Teddy. They are kind of like sidelined to the bigger piece of what we're doing here, but you cannot discredit what they bring to the table. There's a bunch of power in those performances. From what I've seen online, Simone is given more to do in this show than she was in the book, in a sense. So that's kind of cool. I like seeing that, you know? Your girlfriend runs away to Greece, you have to bring her back to reality. You do it. Just go ahead and have fun. I like that. Great locations, too. Oh, like, I'm just like, okay, we actually go on location in the sequences. We're actually standing on, like, you know, concert stages in sequences. We're actually playing freaking music in sequences. I love it. But this story is about the love triangle between our three leads. You have Billy Dunn, who is the male lead. Sam Claflin is fucking hot, man. Everybody is so damn hot in this show. He just looks like a rugged piece of meat you just want to drop onto a grill. Oh my god. Look, he is just built beautifully, has some tremendous hair, is just like a sad singing boy you just want to save and protect in your arms. He kind of learns his lesson early on in his career. Maybe drugs and alcohol aren't going to save me. I have to be a better role model. But as he's doing that, he starts to fall out of love with his wife and in love with Riley Keough's Daisy Jones, who is talk about a performance I did not expect to be so gripping and insane. Love her. I'm not too familiar with all her works. I know her family lineage, and I know what the baggage comes with that is going to be. So, seeing her command the screen, for better or worse, she is a character that is going to be hard to follow sometimes because she goes through a lot, and some of the choices she makes are very public and outbursty, and it's kind of hard to follow, especially when you just want her to be happy. It is very conflicting, but she is given a lot of strong dialogue that seems like a woman who understands what she is doing and the reason she is doing it, both in the present and in the future, and that's kind of cool to see. Daisy Jones is a very compelling lead, and her chemistry with Sam is next level stuff. It's the kind of thing that is so rare to find nowadays, where it doesn't feel like commercialized or forced. It's just, let's put two really attractive people next to each other, singing songs about love and heartache. They're on a stage next to each other, about to kiss, and let it play out. We don't explicitly see them being these terrible people bringing each other down, but there's some good stuff there. But I gotta say, the standout to me, and I would say the talented actress that surprised me the most, because I know you from one thing we don't have to talk about, is Camilla Maroney as Camilla. And I'm just like, okay, you have the hardest performance to sell because you have to be the den mother to all of these insane people. You have to have the biggest presence when you show up because you keep it all together. And you have to play that as somebody who is the victim. And that is hard to do. And every time you see her on screen, you just go, okay, Mom, I believe you, I trust you, I love you, don't leave me. I need you in my life. She is mommy to the T. Look, Billy Dunn got some daddy in him, but Camilla got mommy. I could not stop being impressed of every time Maroney was on screen. I was like, you're doing it. You're doing that thing. You just have it. You have the strength in you. You have the power in you. You are just crushing it in every scene you do. You're commanding all these sons of bitches, and that's such an impressive thing to see. My goodness, I would watch that woman do anything. She just sold it so incredibly well. Not a bad performance on the house. Look, everybody is attractive. Everybody is hot. You just want to see them mess up their lives and get it back together again. It's like, I love you, maybe I don't. Whoops, let's make a mistake. Too many drugs? Whoop, let's make another mistake. We can make a good thing bad, baby. Iconic songs too. It's great. It's just so easy. You've seen a road trip singing performance like this. You've seen this type of performance before. You've seen this type of biopic formulaic thing before, but it spins it around enough where it's like, okay, episodic adventures of this, it's actually working because we're telling them in episodic chunks. If I have one big complaint, it's the release schedule that Amazon chose to do this. That's 3 episodes, 2 episodes, and 2 episodes. Keep it to 2 episodes at a bunch, or do 1, all the way up till 10. Because this should have been in my life for longer. I would have done 10 weeks of this. I think you found your niche audience where you could have sustained 10 weeks of this. Kind of impressive. It looked great. It was well written. Everybody looked like they were having fun. Incredibly well acted. It's going to be hard to top this year, because it just found its formula. It just found itself very well and had a very strong finale where you buy why this band should potentially stay together, why they had to break apart, and all the heartbreak and hardship that comes from that and doesn't come from that. Incredibly well done. Subtle old age makeup too. I gotta say, you kind of made that work better than I expected. But this is what you do. You did it. I'm impressed. I know more of this author's work is being discussed for other places, so that's kind of cool. But this was epic. You know? He does everything I like. Hot people with hot people problems. People that are horny and romantic towards each other. Great songs, great aesthetic, a couple of good kissings, and I have a new mommy. So what else do I want from a show like this? It did everything right. So Daisy Jones and the Six, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.